Hey YouTube. So if you remember the other day when I talked about why I bought the Woodmizer, we're getting down to the wire here now. I already have the oak cut for the trim inside. I'm just waiting for that to dry and then I gotta plane that. But now I want to start cutting spindles for this porch. So in other words, I'm going to be putting a handrail here and a rail on the bottom because I want to be able to sweep underneath it easy, and I want to have spindles every 4 inches. So when I did the math on this, you're looking at about 350 spindles altogether. Okay, there's an 8-foot section here, runs over there. I think that's 32 feet, and then 50 feet that way, and another 8 feet, roughly 350 spindles. So this is where the gravy comes from. In other words, the Woodmizer's been paid for with the oak trim, and now I get to cut the spindles for this with lumber that or logs that I got from my neighbor, which I actually have some spruce down off my property at the bottom of my hill, but I don't really want to cut that if I don't have to. And since I was getting some spruce somewhere else, I'm happy with that. So here's what's going on. If you think about it, I'm going to put 2x2 spindles on there, and they're just going to be straight. I'm not turning them, and I don't need treated wood for that because I'm going to be painting them. So anyway, what I want to do, if you think about it, a spindle is 2x2 by roughly 36 inches. Okay, so if you do the math, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 36 is 144, 144 divided by 144, because that's how many cubic inches are in a board foot, gives you 1 board foot. So that helps me to calculate then how many spindles I can roughly get, or how much wood I need to be able to make these spindles. So you're looking at about 350 board feet. Okay, so I think I can get about 100 and some board feet out of 1 log. Now I have a pine log on the mill, and I had said in a previous video that I was going to use it to make planks for on top of the sawmill, but I'm changing that, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that up into spindles instead, because I've had some good luck with that pine that we brought over from by my neighbor, and I think I can get some nice spindles out of it. Now here's the thing, I don't want to just cut slab wood, because I want the spindles to be as straight and last as straight as they can be over the next however many years they're up on the porch. So what I'm going to try to do is I want to try and get as much quarter sawn lumber out of this tree as I can, so that I can cut the spindles from that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quarter saw this log, and I haven't done it before on a bandsaw mill, so it's sort of new to me, as well as it's going to be maybe new to some of you. But the reason for the quarter sawing is it'll give me a straight grain, even if there's a little rift on boards there, it'll give me straight grain throughout the spindle. And that's what I want, because that'll keep the spindle straight, it'll keep them from getting fuzzy, and it'll make it easier for me to paint. So here's the thing, what I did here, and I have the sawmill warming up, is I took the square, there's a blue square laying over there, I took this square and I set it on the bunk. Now the square is of no significance, you could use a stick. The point is I laid it on the bunk frame, and I measured up to the exact center of the tree. Okay, so let me just show you here. What I did was I measured up to right where the center of the tree is. Now the center of the tree obviously is not the center of the circle, so that sort of has to be kept in mind. However, we're going after quarter sawn wood here, On this end here, it was a 1/2 inch low, so I ended up putting a 1/2 inch shim underneath this in order to keep it where it needed to be. So now the distance to the center of the tree is an exact number on both sides. So as close as, I think, about a 1/16 of an inch. But regardless, that's what my objective was, and that's what I've done so far. So now, what I need to do is I need to split that log down the middle and make it, cut it into quarters so that I can use that for those spindles, and hopefully this wood will come out the way I'm wanting it to. Now naturally you have to keep in mind, you know, hey, this is nature. I have no idea how straight that log is inside. I might open it up and find 1,000,000 amps. For now, I'm just going to attempt to cut this in quarter sawn wood, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay? So you guys can watch. Trying to do there is move all the dogs so that everything is below the center line of the tree, and hopefully I've accomplished that. The center line is about 8 inches off the bump. Guys, just so you know, I sharpened that blade Oh, I think about 2 days, or Sunday I sharpened it, so that was 3 days ago, and I think I used it once since then. Looks like it did some damage to my carry, but anyway. It's a nice cut. Looks good. Looking to make sure that I'm parallel with the dog. I want this thing to be as vertical as I can get it, so I get a true quarter soft cut. About 3/16 off the center here. Same thing with this. 7 1/4 there. So either this should come up 3/4 or that should go down. To be honest with you, I have 3/4 inch corners. So I have a 3/4 inch board out of the kindling pile. Again, I'm looking for that vertical. I want it vertical with the dogs. Now that looks good there. I don't know if that's going to stay there though. And the reason is because I'm on the curved part of the log at the bottom there. I ought to be in the middle, but that's where I want to cut. Let's hope that stays good. Okay, my problem here obviously is that the top of the LT15 on the angle there is hitting that corner point of the log because it goes up. You can see where it goes up and then goes back down. So I'm going to get a chainsaw and cut that knob off of there. Now because of the way I'm cutting that quarter sawn, that dip over there is not going to hurt anything. It was hard for me to hold the saw sideways like that. So let me see if I can get down the log now. Now even though I need 2x2 spindles, I'm not cutting 2x2 spindles out right away. And you know, naturally they're going to be a little bit smaller than 2x2, like 1 3/4 by 1 3/4. However, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut 2 bys out of this. I'm expecting to get 1 2x6, or maybe 2 2x6s or close to it, and then 2 2x4s. That's what I'm expecting to get out of a quarter of a can. So let's see what happens. I'm going to be working from the bottom up. Make sure nothing's in the way. Everything's down, should be good. I think that might be in the way. this off later. But I really don't want to cut 2x2s. I want to leave the full size board until I dry them. Got a nice 2x6 out of that. Be a good 2x4. be able to get 2x2s out of this. And this last one I'm going to call junk, because that last one there is not going to do me much good. With only being 2 inches wide, it'll probably warp and twist even if I stack it nice before I ever get to it. So I'm just not going to go that far. So I'm going to show you the difference then. Whew, man, I'm wore out already. I'm going to show you the difference here between slab sawn and quarter sawn. Now if you look at this, this is actually what they would consider rift sawn, but it's got a nice straight grain all the way up there. You can see it. This one here, rift, but very close to quarter sawn on this edge. Out here it's definitely quarter sawn. Quarter sawn all the way, straight up and down. Same with this one, quarter sawn. That's what I'm after. I want that grain to run all the way through that wood so that when I make these handrails, or the spindles I mean, that they're straight, because some of those spindles that I'm going to use for upstairs, I'm not sure if I want to use oak or not, but I want to turn them, and the spindles for upstairs, I think I need about 80 of them, so I got to see what I want to use. But anyway guys, I thought you might like to see how you quarter saw wood on a Woodmizer. I don't know if anybody ever did it. I'm sure they did, and I'm sure there's guys who are a lot better at this than I am, but you know, this is what I wanted, this is what I got. Let me see you go down to Lowe's and buy quarter sawn spindles. Ain't gonna happen. Thanks, Woodmizer. Hey guys, have a good one. Bye.